Well, Champions Cup round 4 has delivered, hasn't it? Welcome to the Stoop, where I've just been working on and watched Harlequins against Glasgow Warriors. And it was, spoiler alert, a really, really impressive win for Quins when they needed it. A disappointing defeat on the road for one of the tournament. Well, they started dark horses and have become more and more favourites. How big a blow is that defeat for Glasgow? You can just see behind me that's the rest of the Premier Sports team just finishing the broadcast. I was down the tunnel just there doing the player of the match interviews. You just saw Hugh Jones running past me. There's Ewan Ferry, he's a big old unit. And I can confirm as well, Lee Halfpenny, I just saw him happily sign a Harlequins jersey of the lads behind me, but decline the opportunity, funnily enough, being a proud Welshman, to sign a Welsh jersey. So then, your thoughts in the comments down below. Give the video a thumbs up, hit subscribe. What did you make of that match then? Champions Cup round 4 has delivered. There's been some absolutely belting games. Just goes to show what happens when there's something really on the line and when teams put full bore teams out all around. There were full strength teams all across the board, really meaningful matches with significant points on the line, progression to the knockouts, and the rugby's been fantastic. And this is kind of the edge and attitude that you want the whole way through. An edge and attitude. I think that's 2 words I'd use to describe the performance from Quins that made the difference tonight. There was some bite in that performance from them. They've been inconsistent this season. They've lost a lot of games in the last 10, 20 minutes of games. But to shut Glasgow down the way they did, bearing in mind Glasgow they've scored an absolute hat full of tries, something like 58, 57, or over 50 tries basically in the 12 games they've played so far. Basically 4.5 tries a game they're averaging, and they got just 1 today. And a massive part of that was just down to a huge Quins performance. I mean, Tom Lauday's just jogging off the pitch there behind me. He was one of the Quins back rowers that came on. I thought Chandler Cunningham South was absolutely immense. I thought James Chisholm, who's been one of Quins' best players all season, played him in the second row tonight. He was absolutely immense. And I thought they thoroughly deserved the win. And when you've got guys with wheels like Caden Murley, when you do get a chance, and when you've got someone like Marcus Smith who will just do the nuts and bolts right and put you in the right part of the pitch, I just thought it was a very mature performance. But from the flip side, really disappointing from Glasgow. I mean, people had stopped saying that they're one of the underdogs for the competition. People were legitimately, genuinely saying Glasgow could go and win this. They in all likelihood, even if they'd won tonight, we'll wait and see how it goes between Toulon and Sale tomorrow. But I feel like Toulon will probably win that one, in which case Glasgow were maybe never going to finish better than second in their pool. And even the defeat tonight means they still don't finish any lower than second in their pool. But how important will those seedings be? When we see the final 16 mapped out with all the people in their seeded positions, we'll get a sense of it. But Glasgow are going to be at home in the round of 16, and at home they're going to be a match for anyone. But who they now get in the quarterfinals may have changed significantly based on the game that we've just watched on this pitch. Yeah, Franco Smith, I can tell you, I interviewed him after the game. He was not happy. I mean, obviously, you'd be a bit concerned if a head coach was happy with that, because Glasgow have set such high standards for themselves that of course they're not going to be happy with that. But they just did not get it going, did they? And the really good thing about Glasgow this season has been, yes, they play wild attacking rugby, but they're not nice to play against. They've got some big boppers who'll go and wallop you. Rory Darge, Matt Fagerson, Jack Dempsey, Scott Cummings. Although I can say Scott Cummings, after about 10 minutes he went off, he was sat right on that chair just behind me there, that one there, with his arm in a sling and a bit of plastic, I don't know the technical terms, but under his forearm with a bag of ice on top of it. So I don't know. I mean, I suppose the fact he didn't go straight off to hospital probably suggests that maybe it's not a fracture or something, but it could be. He may be a doubt for Scotland, which is it's a blow for Scotland and for Glasgow Warriors as well. But how significant was it not having Sione Tuipulotu and Kyle Steyn? I asked that question to Franco Smith before the game, and his response was, well, our captain tonight is Stafford McDowell. He has captained us before. He's captained Scotland. We've got leaders all across the team. And I think his point is a fair one, but there is something about big games when it really matters, just having that mentality to, I don't know, even when things aren't going really well, actually do the job. And we've seen this a couple of times from Glasgow recently. They went away in that 1872 Cup against Edinburgh and only scored 7 points. And they've come here tonight and only scored 7 points. Was it 27-7? Did not have that at all. I did not predict that whatsoever. Fair play, Quins. 24-7, sorry. Scoreboard's right behind me. Up on there, you can't see it, can you? No. I love coming to this place, though. It was full. It was absolutely bouncing. I met a few people that follow the channel, and thank you for that. Thank you very much for watching right now. I appreciate it. I've got a bit of a drive back to Manchester. Not going all the way tonight. I'm going to go and crash at a mate's a little bit up the road. But I love this competition. I've spoken on the channel so much about how good this is. The elite. This should be at least the elite. This is the best club rugby you can get. This is as high a standard of rugby as you get outside of test match rugby. And it felt not quite at test match level tonight, but it felt there was something of the kind of England-Scotland. You can imagine the England-Scotland game that's going to be taking place just over the road at Twickenham in just a few weeks' time. And it felt a little bit like that. There was a few scuffles, there was a few fights, there was a bit of niggle, and I really liked it. You can see the captain there for tonight, Stafford McDowell, signing a load of shirts and stuff. The players are brilliant. Rugby, do you know what? Every time I come to a live game, whether I'm working here or as a fan, that's one thing that strikes you is just, oh, he's running off somewhere. Stafford McDowell, he's off. They're just good. They're just good folk. Nathan, the sound guy. Thank you for your help tonight, mate. Safe travels. He looks after all the sound for Premier Sport. There's Kyle Rowe back there. It was an interesting matchup. That's Kyle Rowe there. Interesting matchup he had with Caden Murley. And you talk about Scotland, England. Both Kyle Rowe's played a fair bit for Scotland, but are not the frontline wingers or fullback. Same goes with Caden Murley, who's now in the England squad. Caden Murley got the better of him tonight, didn't he? That was a bit of a statement made for Steve Borthwick. Chandler Cunning himself played a full 80 and put it about. That's a big statement ahead of the Six Nations. And that could get him that starting spot if it wasn't his already. So, yeah, the Quins fans will be very happy with that. This is the last game they're going to play in this competition at the Stoop, because they are going to be away, whoever they play, in the round of 16. But thoroughly enjoyed that. Loved it. More of that, please. More of that in this competition. And thank you very much for watching. I will, please, give the video a thumbs up, hit subscribe. I'll see you on the next one.